أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name of He, the He that was there before any other He, the He that did not begin but begin every beginning, the He that will not end but will end every end, He is Allah. Wallahu alladhi la ilaha illa huwa. Aya Allahu ya Samadu ya Melalahu waladu ya Rabbi Jalla Rahman. لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Special Ramadan greeting to all Muslim viewers all over the world. It is a thing of joy and a special privilege, a mercy from Allah that we are alive to witness the Ramadan 2024. It's not by our wisdom, it's not by our righteousness, but by the grace and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My name is Onecho John. I am your guide on Ramadan Reflection. In this edition of the program today, we are going to take a summarized look at what is Ramadan, the position of fasting in the month of Ramadan, who are the people on whom fasting is compulsory, who are those that are exempted from fasting, who have the option of fasting or not fasting, and who are those that are totally forbidden from fasting in the month of Ramadan. In Islam, it is recommended that you should know the rule, regulation, and guidance on any action before you undertake such action. You are not permitted to do anything in Islam until you know the law of Allah that guides that thing that you are going to do. Either it is an act of worship or anything at all that have to do with Islam. You must know the law that guides such thing before you undertake it. Premised upon the aforementioned, it is important for us, therefore, to point out the fact that fasting in the month of Ramadan is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, and it's a direct command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as contained in Quran chapter 2, verse 183, that is Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 183, where Allah said, O ye who believe, fasting is prescribed for you, like it was prescribed for those before you, so that you may attain piety, so that you may become righteous. 2 things are involved here. This is a command of Allah. And in Islam, laws are of categories. Some laws are just to warn. Some laws are warning that are accompanied with penalty. You will be told the law and equally warned of the penalty. In this case, Allah has commanded you to fast, and He has equally given you reason why you should fast. In a nutshell, the essence of fasting in the month of Ramadan is for you to attain piety. Quickly, let us take a look at as-sawm, fasting. What is the meaning of fasting in Islam? In a layman term, fasting in Islam means total and complete abstinence from food, drink, lust, sexual intercourse, and inhalants of any substance from sahur to iftar, from the early hours of the day to midnight. That is from the hours before the appearance of Fajr and into the late night. That is another topic for discussion another day. The right time for sahur and the right time for iftar as contained in the Quran. But for the sake of this discussion, we are limiting it to the definition of fasting to mean abstaining from all the aforementioned from sahur to the night. Having said that, let us quickly take a look at who are the people on whom fasting is compulsory in Islam. Number 1, a Muslim. The first condition for you to fast in Islam is Islam. That is to say, according to Islamic guidelines, fasting in the month of Ramadan is not compulsory for a non-Muslim. For you to belong to the category on those to fast compulsory in Islam, you must be a Muslim. That's number 1. Number 2, you must be an adult. That is to say, fasting is not compulsory on children or minors in Islam. Number 3, it is compulsory on every sane Muslim male and female. Number 1, that you are a Muslim. Number 2, you are an adult, male or female. Number 3, you must be sane. You must be in a sound state of mind. Fasting is not compulsory on any mad person or anybody that is mentally unstable. You must be in your right and complete senses. Number 4, fasting is obligatory on every resident Muslims. If you are in your house, you are in your community, and you are not on transit, if you are at home, fasting is mandatory on you, is compulsory, is obligatory on you. Number 5, you must be a free person. Fasting is not mandatory on slaves. For you to be under the obligatory condition of fasting in Islam, you must be a free person. If you are a slave, under bondage, or any form of slavery, fasting is not compulsory on you. So for you to fast compulsorily, obligatory in Islam, you must be a free person. These are the people on whom fasting is mandatory in Islam. The second category is the category of people on whom fasting is optional. If they like, they fast. If they like, they shouldn't fast. It's optional. They have the option of choice to fast or not to fast. One of such people is any person that is on transit, that is traveling from one point to another. That is a Muslim that is on a legitimate journey that is up to 48 miles. That is 77.25 kilometers. On this category of exempted travelers, scholars differ in their opinion. Some scholars hold the view that this exemption was permitted in the time of the Prophet because of the means of transportation that time. According to them, now that there are better and comfortable means of transportation, anyone traveling should fast. That is the opinion of one class of scholars. Other class of scholars hold the view that this exemption is a window of mercy by Allah. Even if you are traveling in an air-conditioned car, so long as it covers up to this distance, you have the option of refusing to fast or fast if you want. But again, at the end of the month of Ramadan, you will pay the number of days that you miss while traveling. So, the opinion of the third class of scholars is that it is better for you to fast because of the love, mercy, and the favor of Allah that is embedded in the month of Ramadan. The bottom line is you have the option of fasting or not fasting. It depends on the side that you choose to take. Number 2, in the class of those that have the option of fasting or refusing to fast, is a woman that is breastfeeding a child. If you are a breastfeeding mother and you discover that fasting will not give you enough breast milk to breastfeed the child, you are exempted from fasting. At the end of the Ramadan, you pay the number of days that you miss. And again, if you discover that you can combine both breastfeeding and fasting, best for you. But if you cannot, you have not committed any sin. Number 3, an elderly person. If you are aged and you discover that you no longer have the strength to fast, it is not compulsory on you. You are exempted from fasting. But again, you may be 90 or 100 and you still have the strength to fast. You are not forbidden from fasting. You can fast. You have the option to fast or not to fast. It depends on your strength. But again, if you can fast, good. If you cannot fast, you have the option of feeding the poor if you have the means. And if you don't have the means, good to go. You have used your young and productive age to fast. Now, rest if you cannot fast. Number 4, a pregnant woman. If you are pregnant and you discover that fasting may pose risk to the pregnancy, you are exempted from fasting. It's not compulsory on you to fast. Do not fast and cause problem for the baby and yourself. After the month of Ramadan or a certain stage of the pregnancy, when you discover that you can fast, fast. And if you cannot, after childbirth, when you are strong enough, pay. That is the mercy of Allah. And the pregnant women that can fast, good, go ahead. It's not forbidden. So you have the option. It depends on your condition, which you know better than any other human being. Number 5, Another class of people that are exempted from fasting are the sick persons. If you are sick and you know that you are sick, you are exempted from fasting. You weigh the option and level of your sickness. If it cannot take you through the fasting, do not fast. And if you are healthy enough to fast, resume fasting. You are exempted from fasting. It's not compulsory that you should manage your health to fast. Do not manage health to fast and kill yourself. Allah did not make fasting compulsory on you that is sick. You have the option to fast or not to fast. It depends on your health condition. There are some medication that require you eating before medication. Some medication you can take them at sahur and another dose after iftar. And again, if it is a medication that require you eating before the drug or after the drug or regularly because of the drug, stay away from fasting. This reminds me of the yearly ulcer patients. There are some people that don't have ulcer. They will be healthy all through the year, but once it is Ramadan, they will have ulcer. You have ulcer, you know. If you don't have ulcer, you know it better. But again, if you have ulcer genuinely and you know that fasting can deteriorate your condition, you are exempted. It's not compulsory. But if you don't have ulcer, only you know it better. So it's not about me. It's not about what people will say. It's about what you know about yourself and the true condition of your health. All right. Another category of people that we'll take a look at is those that are totally forbidden from fasting, even if they have the strength, even if they have the means, even if they meet all the conditions of fasting, they are totally forbidden from fasting. Number one in this category of Muslims is a woman that is menstruating. If you are menstruating, either you have the means, you have the power, you have the willingness, you are forbidden from fasting in Islam. You are not allowed to fast, even if you are willing and you want to fast. It is not allowed that you fast. Number two, a woman that is still going through the childbirth blood. If you give birth to a child and you are still noticing blood flow, you are totally forbidden from fasting in Islam. Number three, an obviously ill person that is endangered by fasting. You are sick. It is obvious that you are sick. Doctors have recommended that fasting will endanger your life. You are forbidden from fasting. No, let me fast. It's better for me to fast and die than not to fast in the month of Ramadan. If you die, you have committed suicide. You are forbidden from fasting. Number three, a slave under a master that is not allowing him to fast. If you are a slave and you are under a master who does not permit fasting, you are forbidden from fasting. The permission of your slave master. You don't fast unless with the permission of your slave master. Though there's no longer slavery, but that is the law. On the last option here, scholars varies in their opinion. A very, very aged person that may be endangered by fasting. A man or woman that is very, very old, it is obvious that the strength is no longer there. Even if you want to fast, do not endanger yourself to fast. Some scholars said no. If he or she is willing and have the strength, he should be allowed. But other scholars said at certain age, when it is obvious that fasting may endanger the life of this person, he or she is forbidden from fasting because you may be killing yourself. The essence of fasting, like we said earlier, is for you to attain piety, not for you to test your strength of hunger. Have you take a look at all this? There are some misconceptions about fasting that we need to correct quickly before we round up the program and draw the curtain for the day. Sometimes ago, about 2 or 3 years back, I have a friend in Maraba that is a roadside mechanic. In the month of Ramadan, I noticed that he no longer come to his workshop. One day I stopped to ask and they say he's in the house. I went there. I said, Malam, what happened? In 2 days I've not been seeing you. What is the problem? He said, Oga, I am fasting, so I stay in the house. Why? See, there's no way I'll go out and I'll not look at women. I said, no, you can go out. You can look at women. That is not what Allah said. Not look at, you can't close your eye. You can't become blind because you are fasting. Because they say if you are fasting, you shouldn't look at women. Looking and seeing are two different things. You can see women without looking at them. But I'm facing the camera and the woman passed behind the camera. I've seen her. What you are not allowed to do is to look focused and lost in the woman. Islam did not say you should not see women. In the contemporary society today, where will you go that you will not see women? You will see women. You are not forbidden from seeing women. You are only forbidden from looking lustfully at women. And again, even this, there are conditions to it. You are a human being, and we are made with certain human deficiency. There are some people, either you like it or you don't like it. Either they go out or they don't go out. They must have that lust for women in their heart. They must be carried away. Either they look at women or they don't look at women. They must be carried away. And that is where the mercy of Allah comes in. What you are required to do as a Muslim, you know your human deficiency already. Since you know that looking at women is your deficiency, fine. It's even a means of earning reward for you. As soon as you look at a woman and you are lost, simply cry subhanallah, astaghfirullah. Return yourself to your sense. That you refuse to continue the look and the lust and you ask for forgiveness, Allah will reward you. You don't lock yourself inside and refuse to go to earn your living because you are fasting. No. That is not Islam. That's not what Islam says. You look, but don't look intentionally. You will see, but don't look intentionally. And if for any reason you get lost unintended, simply say astaghfirullah and return yourself to your senses. That is the essence of Ramadan, to test your piety, to increase your piety. Another misconception. I had another friend in Igala land. Once he is fasting, he will not bath throughout that day. He will bath either late in the night or before sahur. That is not Islam. Islam did not say that you should become dirty because you are fasting. You can bath if you are fasting. It's not forbidden. Islam does not forbid you from bathing. Take your normal bath and go about your daily activities. Some people will say if you are bathing, water will penetrate your skin and is that your business? What Allah have said is you should abstain from eating and drinking. This one that you are bringing in, that water penetrates your skin and goes into your body, nobody gives you that limit. Just like the people of Bakara, when Allah tells them to sacrifice cow, they begin to ask the color and the other thing that Allah did not tell them. At the end of the day, they found themselves in trouble. Do not go and begin to ask questions and add to what Allah did not make compulsory on you. If you are fasting, you can bath. Nobody forbid you from bathing. The only area where some scholars raise some complaining opinion is for you to go and lie down in swimming pool or swim in water or go and lie down in the basin of water. That's what they say you shouldn't do. Otherwise, you can bath. But don't go and swim. Don't go and soak yourself in water. That is not allowed. That is where scholars raise different opinion. But you can bath, sir. Man, you can bath. If you are fasting, you can bath. It's not forbidden. Another one is brushing your teeth. You can wash your mouth if you are fasting. It's not forbidden. You can wash your mouth. You can even use chewing stick to brush your teeth. But the chewing stick that you are going to use should be dried and tasteless. You know, there are some chewing stick that are either sweet or pepperish. Use the one that is dry and tasteless. It's not forbidden in Islam. In fact, if you are fasting and your throat becomes so dry that you can hardly find saliva to swallow, you are allowed in Islam to raise your mouth, put water in your mouth, shake it and throw it away, pour away spit 3 times to freshen your mouth so that you can have saliva to swallow. Remember, fasting is between you and Allah, and you know what you are doing. You are rinsing your mouth to freshen the mouth. If you rinse your mouth, throw away the water, pour away spit 3 times to ensure that the water is longer in your mouth, but your mouth is now fresh to allow you generate saliva. To keep your throat wet is allowed in Islam. That you are fasting doesn't mean your mouth should smell. That you are fasting doesn't mean you shouldn't brush your mouth. You can brush. Here, in modern time, people ask questions about toothpaste. The reason why you are not going to use toothpaste is because of the taste. It has a taste. And that taste, sometimes as you use it, it may unintentionally go into your throat without you intending or knowing it. So you are not supposed to use toothpaste. But you can use empty brush without paste to brush your mouth, or dry and tasteless chewing stick. These are some of the misconceptions about fasting that we quickly want to correct before we draw the curtain for the day. Alright, here we draw the curtain on the program today. Tomorrow, inshallah, we'll bring you another interesting edition of this program, and I'm sure you have learned 1 or 2 things from this. Where we have erred in the course of this discussion, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. And where we have spoken rightly, May Allah reward us. If you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, kindly do so. Also, endeavor to follow us on our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The handler is the same everywhere, USTV Africa. Once you search USTV Africa, it will pop up. We are the only USTV Africa in the whole world. And we are the voice of the new Africa. May Allah continue to be with you. Ramadan Mubarak.